something really good to say about you. Having known you, this rascal, for some 12 years now. But I think that's the essence of the John Cassavetes Award, contrariness. I knew John Cassavetes. He came to NYU when I was a film student there, and he always told me, he said, piss him off. When they tell you you can't do it, then do it. And that was John. I think of you the same way, Ed, when you came into my life. You're a man, when they always said you can't do it, you did it. The first layer of no's for Ed doesn't exist. It's where he begins. He goes down to the 9th, the 11th, the 12th, and 13th layer of no. And then you root around like a pig after a truffle. And sometimes, only sometimes, somewhere it comes up gold or silver, bronze. Thank you, Ed. On my behalf, but also for, I know many other directors, from Terry Malick to Paul Williams and Brian De Palma, Volker Schlondorf, and Barbe Schroeder. Thank you for the Conan, Ed. And thank you for Wall Street. Even the Ham, Talk Radio. And this year, again, you grace us with To Sleep with Anger, and Reversal of Fortune. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Holly. When one compares today's event with those motley meetings of the old New York Film Co-op was predecessor, one of the predecessors of the ISP in New York in the early 70s. And one gets a real objective indication of the growth of the American independent film movement. The pioneering efforts of the movement really started around 1961 with John Cassavetes' Shadows. 1962, Frank Perry's David and Lisa. 1963, Kenneth Anger's Scorpio Rising. But these seemed isolated cases, oddities. And they were oddities, but they continued. Later in the 60s, films like Shirley Clarke's Portrait of Jason, and in the early 70s, films like Scorsese's Mean Streets and Malick's Badlands were released. And they were also considered one-shot wonders, but they continued. And in the 80s, Oliver's Salvador and Platoon, Garmish's Strangers in Paradise, Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It, Alex Cox, Sid and Nancy, etc., etc., etc. And always, the independents seemed fragile, about to be overwhelmed by the forces that be. But these sort of films flourished and multiplied. And look at it this year. Films like Charles Burnett's To Sleep with Anger and John McNaughton's Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, they still seem like total anomalies. But today, as we sit in this room, we see almost an institutionalization of oddities. When so many oddities come into existence, though, they become truly an artistic movement. The modern, independent American film movement is unprecedented in film history. In its quantity and quality of work. I'm proud to be a part of it. I plan to continue. It's great that the IFP exists in this flourishing form, and I thank you for this award.